Have you ever made a snap choice, clicked buy at 2 a.m., answered a text you later regretted, or said yes to something because the moment felt urgent, and then woken up the next day wishing you hadn't? If so, you're not weak or indecisive. You're human. Our minds are designed to make fast, satisfying moves when the present presses. But those quick moves often create long-lasting regret because we mispredict how we will feel later. This video follows one man's quiet invention, a ritual he calls the decision closet, and uses his story to explain why delaying certain choices reduces regret, how your brain systematically misforecasts future feelings, and exactly how to build a simple, repeatable ritual to improve the quality of your decisions without turning into a chronic procrastinator. His name is Daniel. In his 30s, Daniel worked in product design, lived in a small apartment, and had a habit of polishing rough ideas into impulsive commitments. He once promised a friend a major favor after a night of drinks, bought an expensive gadget after a viral ad, and agreed to a job interview that didn't fit his life. Each impulse felt right in the moment and wrong later. After a particularly painful week, 2 promises he couldn't keep and a return he couldn't afford, Daniel created the decision closet. The ritual was embarrassingly simple. Whenever a choice felt emotionally inflated or consequential, he wrote the decision on a card, folded it, and placed it in a real cupboard in his hallway. He set a revisit date, wrote down the stakes and a tiny test to perform before retrieval, and then literally closed the door. No longer allowed to ruminate, he trained himself instead to wait until the appointed time when he would take the card out, perform the tests, and decide. The results were transformative. Fewer impulsive commitments, lower regret, and clearer long-term alignment. To understand why the closet worked, we need 3 psychological facts. First, your brain is prone to affective forecasting errors. You are spectacular at imagining how you'll feel, but terrible at predicting the intensity and duration of those feelings. The technical term is impact bias. You overestimate how much joy a purchase will bring and overestimate how much pain will follow a rejection. So in the heat of the moment, you tilt toward extremes. Second, present bias, or hyperbolic discounting, makes immediate rewards feel disproportionately valuable compared to delayed ones. That's why the free trial, the midnight sale, or the emotional high of quick approval feels irresistible. Third, decision fatigue reduces your capacity to evaluate options later in the day, making you more likely to accept the first available solution. The decision closet sidesteps these biases by introducing a structured delay and a factual check before commitment, turning raw affect into usable data. Now, the core of this video is practical. A structured, evidence-based ritual you can adopt immediately. Call it the Decision Closet Protocol. Simple, portable, and scalable to any life domain. Step 1. Identify and categorize. When a choice rises, name it and ask, is this low, medium, or high stakes? Low stakes, decisions under a small cost, what to eat tonight. Medium stakes, meaningful but reversible choices, a weekend trip booking. High stakes, decisions with substantial cost or long consequences, career moves, big purchases, relationships. The stakes determine the shelf time. Step 2. Create a decision card. Write in one sentence the decision, 2 concrete options, 1 short list of likely benefits for each option, and 1 line. If I still feel the same after shelf time, act, if not hold. Add a date to revisit. This converts vague feelings into a focused question. Step 3. Store and close the cabinet. Place the card in a physical closet, a shoebox, a jar, or a folder in your email labeled Decisions, and close it. The physical act of closing is important because it signals a commitment to delay and prevents the endless mental chew that turns small choices into emotional storms. Step 4. Use calibrated shelf times. For low stakes, use the 15-60-minute rule, enough to cool impulsivity. For medium stakes, apply the 24-72-hour rule. For high stakes, 1 week to 1 month, depending on complexity. The specific durations aren't magical. They are anchors that break the immediate affective chain. Step 5. Run a short evidence checklist on retrieval. A. Do I have new information since storing the card? B. Which option survives a simple reality test? For example, a trial, a small payment, a conversation. C. What would I advise a friend to do in this situation? D. Is my current emotional tone significantly different from the initial tone? The subconscious often decides while you process these questions. Step 6. Commit and audit. Make the decision, act, and then, after an appropriate period, audit the outcome. Estimate your anticipated feelings versus actual feelings and note what cues were reliable. That audit trains better forecasting and reduces future mistakes. Alongside these steps, Daniel added 2 low-friction rules that saved him: the 2-minute test and the minimum pullback. The 2-minute test. If the action is truly urgent and necessary, a fire, a safety issue, do it now. The minimum pullback. If you fear the cost of delay will produce a worse outcome, set a very short shelf time, but still do the storing ritual. These guardrails prevent the ritual from becoming a default avoidance strategy. The decision closet is not about avoiding responsibility or becoming paralyzed by choices. It is a calibrated intervention to protect you from your brain's predictable misfires. Here are 3 animated metaphors that will make this clear on screen. The closet as an inventory system. Some items are impulse goods, others are durable goods. Branching timelines that show how a snap decision often leads to a high regret branch, while a delayed decision explores more branches and lands on a lower regret path. And a regret scale needle that visualizes anticipated versus actual regret over time. Now let's make the science accessible with quick analogies. Imagine your emotions are a weather front. When a storm, strong mood hits, you don't rearrange the furniture. First, you check the barometer. The decision closet buys you time to watch the barometer change. Effective forecasting error is like mistaking a gust of wind for a hurricane. Present bias is the siren that says act now because the immediate noise is loudest. The closet lowers the volume. To make this a working toolkit, here are 5 simple exercises you can start today. Exercise 1. The 15-minute closet for small temptations. For low-cost impulses like late-night purchases or impulsive replies, write a 1-line card, set a 15-minute timer, and place it in a small box. When the timer ends, reassess. You'll find many impulses evaporate. Exercise 2. The 72-hour rule for medium choices. For decisions that matter but are reversible, trips, subscriptions, non-urgent promises, place a card and wait at least 72 hours. Use the time to gather 1 independent piece of information. Exercise 3. The monthly deep closet for big moves. For major shifts, career changes, serious relationships, buy or sell decisions, create a card, set a 1-month review, and during that month perform 3 reality tests. Talk to a mentor, trial the role, simulate the expense. Exercise 4. The regret thermometer. After any decision, estimate how much you'll regret it on a 0-10 scale 10 minutes after choosing, and then 1 month later. Track the gap. This trains your forecasting accuracy. Exercise 5. The decision audit Sunday. Once a week, empty your closet and audit each resolved card. What cues predicted success? Where did you overreact? And what will you change next time? Daniel's story shows these exercises in action. When he used the 2-minute test properly, he reacted correctly to a real urgent issue at work. When he used the 72-hour rule, he avoided a costly gadget sale that would have become buyer's remorse. Most importantly, the ritual reduced his chronic low-level stress because he began to trust a system, not just his fluctuating moods. An important psychological benefit is that the ritual externalizes internal conflict. The simple act of writing down the choice offloads cognitive load and reduces rumination. Cognitive offloading is a proven strategy. By moving a problem from mind to paper, you free up working memory and improve decision quality. Another benefit is that delaying a choice allows effective adaptation. Emotions are intense but transient. Delay lets intensity fade and makes evaluation clearer. A common worry is whether delay equals avoidance. It doesn't have to. The protocol explicitly forces review and tests before action, so delay becomes deliberation, not avoidance. There are situations where immediate action is the right move, life-threatening events, clear moral obligations, or contractual deadlines. The protocol's 2-minute test and minimum pullback rules protect against misuse. For creative professionals, the decision closet can be adapted into a creative holding tank. Save half-formed ideas in the tank with a revisit date. Many early ideas will dissolve, saving time, while the durable ones return stronger after incubation. For relationships, a gentle version of the closet helps avoid reactive words. Write a message, put it in the closet for 24 hours, then decide whether to send it. Often you won't. Finally, here's a compact checklist you can memorize. Name the decision. Write 1-line options. Assign stakes and shelf time. Store and close. On revisit, sample evidence, try a small test. Consult one skeptical friend. Decide and audit. If you'd like a printable decision closet card template, it will be linked below the video. Before we close, a few empathetic reminders. You will still make mistakes. The aim is progress, not perfection. The ritual is a tool, useful for cooling hot impulses and improving long-term alignment, but it won't eliminate all regret. Some regret is informative, it teaches. The goal is to reduce avoidable regret caused by predictable forecasting errors and impulsive compression into the present. Daniel's life didn't become flawless, but it became clearer. He found that fewer impulsive commitments meant more energy for the things that truly mattered. The decision closet is less about delaying forever and more about giving yourself psychological breathing room to choose in a better state. If this toolkit resonated, try it for 1 week. Pick 3 decisions, put them in your own literal or digital closet, and follow the protocol. Notice how many impulses fade and how your regret thermometer behaves. If you'd like more simple, research-based mental tools like this, practical rituals that combine philosophy, psychology, and neuroscience, like this video, share it with someone who rushes into things, and subscribe to Mind Unlocked for a steady toolkit of clearer thinking. Your like and subscription help us create more evidence-backed practices and more animated guides for making smarter, kinder decisions in a noisy world.